Hey, if you've ever felt yourself kind of unfulfilled, you've had thoughts that you couldn't find the answers to and they never seem to go away, or they frequently pop up at unassuming times and it just annoys you because you're wondering, why am I thinking this? Why am I feeling this? Well, if that's you, or if you've experienced that, this episode is for you.
Folks, Sir Charles Carey here. Just want to make sure I'm live before. I think I'm live now. All right. Well, Sir Charles Carey here, folks, and just wanted to touch base. I do videos pretty much daily. Um, I try to speak about things that are important, the things that matter. Everything's important to one, obviously, is not important to everyone else, but I do believe in a certain quality of life, and to tap into the quality of life that may matter to you, there should be something that's relevant, something significant, something you can identify with. So, you know, being that, as I've stated thus far, I like to suggest that you need to find something that's important to you to do in your life. Now, I know we all have jobs or have had jobs, and you may not like your job, or you may have just gotten good at your job, but how important is that job? Now, I know you got to pay your bills. I know you have to have a certain lifestyle or life, I guess, quality of life that makes sense to you, obviously, right? Because you have to pay for your food, your room and board, your travel, your ability to travel, and all those sorts of things. So there is a level of importance from that perspective, but how important is it to your heart? How important is it to the core of who you are? And a lot of us, we do something and we really don't think about it. I know you go to school, you go to college, maybe you graduate, and even if you didn't go to college, probably one of the first jobs you got, or one of the most long-standing jobs you got, you stayed there and you got used to it. And because you got used to it, you got comfortable. And because you got comfortable, you may not have considered other options, especially if you're somewhat a seasoned adult. Now, younger folks bounce from thing to thing. After a couple of years here, they're looking to go there. I'm not saying that older folks don't do that, but it's more commonly known that younger folks want to kind of like get a smorgasbord of life experience. And they may not even think of it that way, they just do it. Whereas if you're a little more seasoned, the money is right, you're able to get the things you want, the tangible things, right? The money and the cars, the jewels, the house you want, all that sort of thing. You get comfortable and you kind of like settle there. But the true point is, how important is it to you? And I want to share this out. I don't know how I can do this because I'm doing Facebook Live, and normally I do this a little differently because I want to share this with some of my other colleagues and friends. I think this is important. Let me just do this and then we can keep it moving. But how important is it that you're comfortable versus is something that's more meaningful to your quality of life? So, what am I saying? I'm saying that if you always wanted to be in the art department, but yet you're an administrative assistant and the money is good, do you just remain an administrative assistant or a secretary? Or do you find a way of tapping into that creative space like you could in the art department? See, a lot of people don't. We get degrees, we never work in the industry that the degree is for. We get the job, right? We get comfortable, feet get planted, Roots get grown, they get dug in 10 toes down, and before you know it, you got roots. Oh, it's so much work to do this and do that. You don't know the criteria of doing something different. You've gotten used to the people around you. Again, the money's gotten good. You're comfortable in the space you are. You might not even want to look in another company or government agency to consider, should I do something different? Should I stretch out and work somewhere else? Well, this is why you need to do what you literally enjoy. Now, we can't always do it right off the bat. I get that. But it's so important to your quality of life that at some point you're able to tap in to what's truly critically important to your well-being, your soul, your spirit. Because what's going to happen, at least in most cases, one day you're going to look back and say to yourself, yeah, I did this and I did that, but you know what? I always really wanted to do fill in the blank. What was it? What was it, or what is it that you've always wanted to do, but you've never done it? You really never even lifted a finger for it or towards it, though you know deep down inside at your core, you are mad, passionate about that, but you didn't do yourself the justice or the service of digging deeper, of looking deeper into fulfilling that unfulfilled need. And you see, you don't even know how good you are at it because maybe beyond your childhood or your teens, or maybe even as a young adult, maybe on the first time of trying that thing, you never gave it a chance to grow roots. You just ran with it because it was convenient. You ran with it because you got used to it. So, what's important, and write this down if you want, just as a reminder to you. And if you feel like, oh, this ain't for me, I don't, whatever, I'm good. Okay, good. Maybe it's for someone you know. Maybe it's for one of your kids, grandkids. Maybe it's for a friend. What's important to you, and what is it that you really enjoy that really benefits your quality of life? What's the answer? You see, that's the problem. If you can answer that question, there's something left in the tank that needs to be explored. So here's the other thing. What is it that you're really good at? Now, this is a catch 22 because the first thing I said was important to you, and you land on this job, and you've been doing it, and you got used to it, you got comfortable. A lot of times what happens is we do get good at doing things we don't care about, and it's because we've been doing it for so long. But what is it that you're really good at it? You're like almost like genius level, or you're like creme de la creme, like you just like that. You one of those cats. You one of those people that just like go in when it comes to art, when it comes to electrical, when it comes to carpentry, when it comes to music, when it comes to teaching. What is it that you're really good at? You see, because those three things have something in common: what's important to you, what you love, and what you're good at. And if you ever, and I mean EVER, ever get to match all three of those things up with your true passion, the world's in trouble. The world may truly be in trouble. And why I say that is because Dr. Miles Monroe said this, and you've heard other people reference Dr. Miles Monroe's statement about there's so much brilliance or genius we've never come to know because it's buried in the cemetery, the graveyard. Say it how you will. Well, who's to say that your genius or your brilliance has not been discovered, or your genius, it hasn't been discovered because you haven't let it out the gate. You haven't explored it. You maybe haven't discovered it. That's some real talk there, because you may be doing yourself a disservice, your family a disservice, your legacy a disservice, because you haven't looked past start to find out if you've got something. So, what's important to you, what you love doing, and what you're good at, those are significant things to question yourself on. If you was in a courtroom and you and the other lawyer was cross-examining you, and he asked those questions, could you give an answer? Or has it been so long you can't even come up with an answer? Now, yet, here's the other side. Have you been doing something so long that you just simply hate it? You see the expression on my face, you just hate it. Oh my God. You don't like the people, you don't like the culture, you don't like the place, you don't like going there. That speaks volumes too, folks. It really does. Because if you are not willing to do something about your dissatisfaction, some may say you deserve what you get, but I say it's extremely unfortunate, because there's always someone watching you, especially if you're a good person, kind-hearted person, attractive person. You're decent with other people. You're prominent in things you've gotten stuck at. So someone is watching you. They're seeing you get good at something you don't even care about, and they're being groomed from afar, where that's not even the real you. You see, that's the travesty. And you really need to sit still and ask yourself, why am I doing something that really does not matter that much to me? I mean, outside of the fact that you've got to pay bills, we get that. But there are 24 hours in every single day. And if you are an 8-hour sleeper, there's 16 hours. And if you do work for 8 hours of the day, there's still 8 hours. And if you have 8 hours in the course of your day, are you suggesting that sitting, driving, walking, laying around, watching television, whatever, in an 8-hour span, I'm talking about before you cook dinner, breakfast, lunch, as you're having dinner, breakfast, and lunch, you never have the thought, or the thought never enters and exits your mind about the thing you really want? Is that true? Is that your truth? Never? And how many years have you been on this or that job, or working in this or that environment? And the thought never, in an 8-hour span, for the last 20, 25, 30 years, you've never thought about what you'd really like to do. And you see, it's not always about being rich. It's not about becoming the best. Although I must admit, there's nothing wrong with being the best at what you do. But the simple fact, it's an untapped area of life. And I heard many years ago, I think I was a teenager, about 13, 14, that people only use 10% of the brain's capacity in a lifetime. And when I heard that, I could not fathom how that made sense. Now, it's not saying that you don't use the entire brain. It's saying 10% of the capacity, the possibility, the probability, the potential of digging into what's really important, or what's really the creative or innovative side of the YOU. And if you've been to any of my workshops, you know I always say it. As a CEO, you have and should have a vested interest in everything that relates to YOU because you are the CEO. You're just the CEO on a different level. A CEO does the same things that you do. They invest in their people, you invest in yourself. They make sure that there's money in the budget to do this, that, and the other to keep the company running. You make sure that you have enough money to keep your car working, to keep the lights on in your home. They take care of their employees. You take care of your children if you have any. Some of you have animals. You're doing the same thing on a much lower or much different level. So, why are you not honestly considering your quality of life much differently or much better than you have thus far? You see, it's not about bragging or necessarily, saying, oh, I did this and I did that. But to a degree, it is. Because if you're doing things that are worthwhile, directly and indirectly, you are helping other people because you are showing them how a thing needs to be done. The question is, what's your thing? And who are you showing by example? You see, if you don't do it, if you never do it, you'll never know. But just know this, you have led many people and you may have led many people astray. And why did you lead them or lead them? That's the best way of saying it. Why did you lead them astray? Because you didn't have the wherewithal, the courage, or whatever it is to look into it yourself. You see, I've been in business for a very long time. Am I on television? Nah. Am I all over the internet? Mm-mm. Am I in books? Maybe a couple here and there. Nothing significant, I can assure you that. So, what makes me so bold and so smart and so outspoken about this? Probably because I've never and have not given up. Probably because the thing that's got me passionate and excited is being around like minded people. Probably because I know I still want it. What's the it? That's on me. The thing that I like, the thing that I'm interested in, the thing that I'm good at. So, what's your it? We all have an it. We all have something that matters deeply to us. It's so severely important, but we think it's out of touch, it's out of reach. Oh, I can never do it. Oh, I'm too old. Oh, I'm retired now. Oh, nobody wants to hear me say it. Oh, nobody wants to see me do it. Woe is me, is woe is me. And, if you don't do it, you just don't do it. But I'm really speaking to those who know they still want it, those who are really trying to go after it. And I want to encourage you, get on board with me Saturday at 11 o'clock. I'll be doing a webinar. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. 5 reasons your dreams never see the light of day. You have to in order to give birth to something, you have to plant seeds. It has to be groomed, right? Nurtured. And then eventually you give birth to it. But who better to learn from than someone who has done it and someone that is doing it and someone that stays connected to people that actually do it? So you're going to see this week various clips on my personal page, various clips on the Wordsmith Speakers Alliance group, various clips on CV, I think it's productions or promotions, various clips on Change the Brain, right here on Facebook, as well as Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn. Promotions about this free webinar. And why are you hearing that? And why am I doing that? Because I want to take responsibility using the talents, the gifts that I have. And I don't want to live this life and leave this life not ever having given a chance, given it a try more than once. Yes, I've done it many times. I've coached many people. I've keynoted. I've done workshops. I've done all these things, and not to try to impress you, but to impress upon you that I'm just like you. I'm just in the throes of doing a thing because it matters to me, because I care. I am a true people magnet. I have a sister that said that I would talk to the animals if I could. I know so many people, they look at me like, why are you always talking to somebody? Why not? People are all we've got. Why not talk to them? And every time I see someone, I'm not trying to get them to buy a book or anything. I just like people. That Do you know who you are at your core? Even when I was a teenager, I remember a friend said, Charles, you don't know nobody, man. I never forgot it. But I looked at it as, they were mad or upset that, I have a way, God-given natural way with people. It's just me. And I'm, for the most part, comfortable being me. Aren't you comfortable being you? Or is it only when the spotlight is on you that you're comfortable because you can show people what you do? And check this out. There's a place for that as well. It's a teachable moment, but do it with true intentions, with honest motives. Don't be mad at someone else because they're doing something you do. But anyway, I don't want to go down that path. The point still remains. Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Check me out on any of the platforms I mentioned: Instagram, TikTok, um, Threads, Facebook. As far as getting the information, you can get it from all those platforms. You can DM me and get it directly. 5 reasons your dreams never see the light of day. And if you're saying, well, I'm dreaming about nothing, well, maybe you are, but it's locked in a compartment in the back of your mind and you just haven't opened the door. Or maybe I'll say something that makes you think about what I'm talking about because it's really important. It's essential that you live your life with the best intentions and that you live your life enjoying it, fulfilled. That's what I do. And like I said, I may not be a household name, but I get up every day and I'm excited at the things that I can do, on the music side and on the personal and professional development side. Because if I just thought, oh, I'm too old for that, no one wants to hear or see what I've got to do, what I'm doing, I would have been greatly wrong and disappointed. No matter what you check out that I'm doing, you'll see for yourself. I've got a bit of traction, and people seem to relate and identify with the things, plural, that I've done and that I currently do. So, again, I'm inviting you to come on out and check out 5 reasons your dreams never see the light of day. Any questions, please post your questions. I got a little bit too deep in it or too whatever aggressive. Let me know. I'd love to get your feedback. You can always contact me here on social / Sir Charles Carey, or you can DM me, of course. You can go to the website, sircharlescareyinc.com / contact, and let me know how I can be of service to you because this is my thing, man. This is my jam. I've worked with some of the best. I've learned from many of the best, some up close and personal, and some from afar. But the point is, I still learn, and I like learning. So all those out there like me, let's go.